All right, here's sound check. Austin, go ahead.
Sound check. It's
Ju-
me.
Judy, go ahead.
So no head.
Cindy, go ahead.
Furrow, get out of the way.
Andrew, go ahead.
So no brain.
Okay. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's the siblings you wish you had. And today we're back with another episode with Judy.
I'm Judy.
We got Austin again.
So what's that thing on your head, by the way?
Me?
Why are you doing it?
Yeah,
no,
what the
Judy.
thing
Oh,
on your
Judy?
head?
I was like, what are you talking about?
Why are you curling your hair right now?
What's wrong with that?
Supposed to be doing a podcast, bro.
You wish you had enough
We're
hair
going,
to
dude. We're
curl.
going. Oh my god. We got Cindy. You gotta say something for the listeners only. And we got Andrew. I mean, half of that didn't even come through the mic because she was so loud.
Didn't pass sound check.
Didn't pass sound check. Not. All right. So today, like I said, today's podcast episode is a continuation of our last episode, which was about relationships and mostly like the beginning stages and like the middle stage of relationships. So of course now we got to talk about the end of relationships. Very fun. So
Can't
Knows
relate.
anything about those?
Who knows anything about? I don't.
everyone but Judy.
I mean, I ended relationships before.
Not like relationships. I think we've been over this before.
Minecraft
could talk.
relationships.
Yeah, you can have. There are different levels of relationships that you can end.
We talked about ending friendships, and that's when I think that's when she was talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can end friendships. You can end.
I've been in a relationship
before.
No, that wasn't even a relationship though. That was
really
like
count that.
A Skype relationship.
Oh,
I assume by
a Skype relationship.
Yes, a Skype relationship.
It's not real. That's not real.
It's
I'm
real.
Long distance online relationships?
Not
That's
real.
not real?
No.
Oh, but Cindy's got a lot to say about those.
I know she does, but she's never met any of these people in person. How can that be real?
Are you sure she's never met any of them?
We'll call that e-dating. It's a totally separate category. Yeah.
E-dating's dating. It's dating, dude.
I don't really think so. I don't really think so.
What if you e-date and then meet in real life and then we're back to e-dating? Are you still
Yeah, what about
is that
Andrew?
not real then?
Austin, how do you feel if they e-date, meet in real life, and then they're stuck e-dating again? They're still e-dating?
Yes, because the relationship is more than 50% online.
Okay, but would you still consider it a real relationship?
No, not really.
So when Judy and Justin were long distance, China, is that not? They weren't
Judy
dating for real then?
Judy and Justin knew each other for like 2 years in person before that happened. So.
Oh, we're e-dating right now. E-dating.
So, it's a real relationship.
So as long as it doesn't start as an e-relationship.
I just think that there needs to be a certain amount of time in person, like physically around each other, to really understand the person and get to know their habits and stuff, to see if you would actually be a couple. So obviously when you're online all the time, you can put that persona forward that can be not like faked, but your best persona forward.
What do you think about that, Cindy?
I think about that?
Yeah, since you're the biggest e-dater here.
Oh,
you're the biggest e-dater right here.
I don't know. You nervous?
I'm so
nervous, dude.
Nervous.
No, because like I feel like personally, I feel like Judy and Justin have spent more time talking online than they have in life. Then maybe that's just from my perspective because they're always on like Discord or together on calls and stuff all the time.
But they've cleared the trial period, I guess you could say. Like, so when you get into a relationship, the lifetime of relationships, like you get together, you have the honeymoon phase, which is like three months to at the longest like a year, and then after that, you start to realize the nuances of their personality and like I guess you could say their pros and cons, which I mean that's just for the lack of a better word, but maybe the things that annoy you about them or the things that you have to compromise on or things that they do that they're asking of you. You know, any reason that might put stress on the relationship, you will learn what those things are
I
once
mean,
you're past the honeymoon phase.
I was just gonna say, I feel like I was pretty stressed when I feel like I was the most stressed when I was dating with just a long distance.
But you already had a relationship before that.
Yeah, but we didn't
It
really
was
fight
so
or
hard.
anything before
It
then.
was so hard.
Like when we first had our first real argument, it was like online.
Mm.
That's because like online is just so much harder.
So is
Because
it better?
I want to say it's better, but you definitely have to work harder at it
Work harder.
because you don't have that like the
Touch.
physical aspect of it. They have to focus more on the other stuff
You should probably
make
get closer
up.
to your mic.
to make up for it, you know?
What do you think, Andrew?
E-dater.
You're
Yeah,
the
Andrew is also a
No, he's not, you guys. You are.
Yeah,
This
guys.
definition is so wrong. It's not an e-dater at
no.
all.
What do you no? His previous
You're
relationship.
saying, like long distance
Not
are not
E
real
date.
relationships. You said that, did you not?
That's a different topic, though. I did say that, but that's different.
Come on, guys.
But he's saying e relationships are people. I guess your relationship didn't start. So
They start
what?
online, right?
Right, but then here's a question for Austin. In what time period? Like, if say so, like Andrew and his ex obviously were together for like, what'd you say, 3 months, Andrew? And then she went long distance. You guys went long distance. Like, is that
Yeah, what about it?
is that considered an e relationship to you?
No.
No, not to you, to
Of course, guys.
Austin.
No, because you guys courted each other physically. It's different. It's totally different.
So
I'm
then
saying-
the way that Andrew's explaining it, how when you meet online, like first, like how you meet them first. If it's met online, then you consider that a new relationship. If you meet at any time before you like know this person, it's not a
if you
new
meet
relationship.
online,
I think if you declare a relationship online, it would be considered like
E-dating.
dating.
yeah, or if you like meet online and then maybe you meet up in person a few times, but like 80 to 90% of your relationship is online, yes, that is like not a real relationship, in my opinion. That is what I think.
Real. But why?
So
Why
many
do?
people out there are gonna be so offended.
Yeah, our e-daters out
Are
there.
e-daters?
Why? Why don't you think it's a
I
real
already explained it.
relationship?
I already explained it. There's the whole process of like courting and like getting to know each other in person and all the nuances to their personality that you have to get to learn. And that stuff you won't learn through online, in my
not.
opinion.
I agree with that.
Because sometimes they're very small things. Like for example, like I mean this is just totally arbitrary. I'm making this up. Let's say you invite them over to your house. You guys eat a meal together and then they just like put their dish in the sink and it's like half filled with food. To me that would like drive me insane because they could have scraped the food out into the trash and like rinsed their bowl or something. But instead they just like literally put it in the sink with food. That would be a problem for me, and that would be like something that I would learn about them that I would expect that they would change for me. That's not something I would ever learn in the history of ever if I met them online and met up with them a few times and then like our relationship was all online.
I mean, eventually, when you're eating, you're eventually gonna meet up and be together forever.
Are
No?
you?
It's not
Are you?
guaranteed.
Not always the case.
It's not guaranteed.
But that's like
I
with
think
every
the
relationship.
e-daters in this
Yeah.
call have had 5 or 6 e-boyfriends and they've never met.
Hey yo, hey
Think about
yo.
it. Think about it.
Yeah, I never met him.
And also
Hey, yo.
say I literally spaced out.
We're all spacing out today, guys. This is bad, guys.
He said something
Guys,
about 5 daters.
We're
and
so
then-
tired.
He's
and then
adding
the-
you.
And I was
Sorry
like,
if
wait,
we
wait,
spaced
wait.
out.
Judy said that wouldn't you eventually meet up with them?
You would not.
And
eventually
I said
meet
not necessarily because Cindy has had, 5 or 6 online boyfriends that she has never met or
Well, you didn't
never
at
had-
her at first. Now you're just adding her.
At Cindy.
Well, it's also like that's also like when you were younger too.
That just adds on to the
and
not
that adds on
realness.
to the there's complications of like traveling money that like just don't have. I think that when you're older and you're out of college or you never went to college and you don't got to bars or something, yeah, dating through like online or like e-dating is like fine.
I was gonna say I feel like it's more uncommon to e-date as you get older.
Yeah. But a lot
Right,
of people
because you
are
have
like,
money and freedom and stuff.
then would you call dating apps e-dating then? Or is that
No,
different
because
because it's a dating app?
it's a dating app. You're usually meeting up right away. That's like the first thing you do is
Is
meet up.
that true though? I feel like it's not.
Well,
Depends.
talk first.
I
Then
feel
you'll
like
decide.
yeah. I was gonna say I feel like people
Unless you're
talk first.
unless you're looking for like a hookup.
Yeah.
What's for? I'm so far away. Sneeze like this. Yeah, I'm just
I think you guys are hyper fixating on this, like, what the definition of e-dating is. Because you're coming up with, like, really arbitrary reasons. You're like, so what if you met online, talked for 2 weeks, met up with someone, went on a date, then you went to their house, and then you were online again for 2 weeks, and then you guys went for a walk. It's like, you
Yeah.
guys understand what I'm trying to say. You had a relationship, you had no money, you were kids, you were in high school. It's not a real relationship. I'm sorry, but you can't travel across the United States to go see someone.
Well, he's
to,
adding
like,
you again,
meet up
Andrew.
with.
He's adding everybody.
No, it's different because Andrew met her in real life, like
Yeah,
IRL.
man.
It's different.
Also, it
Okay.
was under quarantine circumstances, so I bet it would have been a little bit different.
Totally different. He had to finesse her IRL. He couldn't just rely on
So what if you
online
dated
persona.
online, saw them like
No,
once
this is
every
what I
month?
mean. This is too much.
So
Still not a relationship?
What?
So
Said if you
what
met
if I?
online? You met
So
online.
wait, guys, wait.
Saw
So
each
you're
other
done.
like once a month.
That's just a
I
long
think it
distance
can become-
relationship at that
That's-
point, you know?
become
that's
it can become
basically
one.
me.
Yes, it
That's
can become
basically
one.
me and Justin right now in our relationship.
Yes, you guys are long distance. You're not e-dating. You didn't meet each other online. Most of your relationship is
E-dating.
not
No,
online.
you did meet online first.
No, they didn't. What?
No, she's
No,
she's
I'm
giving you
saying
a
my own-
hypothetical.
Yeah.
I did meet him online first.
Obviously, it can change into a real relationship.
You
But if
didn't
your
meet Justin
relationship is-
online first.
I heard him through Cindy's Discord talking
Oh
on
my
the.
Wow.
goodness.
So we're e-date. Wow. Okay, let's continue. We're done talking about e-dating. Next question.
Yeah, we're done with e-dating.
We're going in a loop to my hypotheticals.
All right, so since we're talking about why relationships don't work, what does a healthy relationship look like to you guys? We'll start with we're gonna start with Austin and Cindy since they're the ones that are married. So
Sure.
Austin or Cindy,
Go
one of
ahead.
you.
Why is the
You can
silence so
Yeah,
loud?
why?
A healthy relationship looks like this. Sit next to each other all day, could not talk to each other, same room, be quiet, come over, pat my head, go back to doing.
For some people
Wow.
that are listening, they might think that's a nightmare. Actually.
I mean, we've been together for like 5 years. Like, we'll go out and do stuff when we want to. But like, I think it's just like,
We're able
We
to have
said-
free time in the same room.
yeah, like we said in like the previous relation podcast that being in a relationship is just what would you say? Spending time together with another person. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I don't know what you're trying to say either.
It's a lot of things. It's compromise. It's a partnership, camaraderie. It's sacrifice for each other. Spending time in the same room, but like not doing the same thing together. Being comfortable with silence. All that stuff.
Having your own interests.
Yeah, but I think you do need to have interests that overlap for sure.
Yeah,
It's
I think
super problematic if you don't.
we talked about that
Yeah,
in the last
Yeah.
podcast.
And
pretty obvious.
being open to like your others' interests too, being involved in that.
I do think
Being
I think there needs to be a similar level of maintenance between both people.
What do
So
you,
there
what
are
do you
like
mean by maintenance?
there are high maintenance people that require constant attention or like stimulation. Like you need to take me for walks every day. You need to
Take
take me
me for
out.
walks every day like a dog.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you need to talk to me X amount of hours a day. You need to just random stuff. You need to call me in the morning. You need to always say good morning. You need to always say good night. Just small things that would be considered high maintenance because you always have to work towards them. And then there's some people that are super low maintenance. I think that the best relationships are when people are pretty aligned on those things. For example, if you had a high maintenance person and someone that didn't put too much effort into those things, that's going to be problematic because they're always going to feel like, oh, you don't care enough because you never do this thing that I feel like you always need to do. And the other person's like, oh, I care plenty, but I just don't put effort into those things because they don't themselves see the value in that, I guess. Does that make
I know.
sense?
Yes, I know exactly what you're saying.
Oh, why?
Oh, why? You know why?
Oh,
Explain.
Educate us, bro.
Educate you, entertain it? No, that's okay. It's just in my past relationship. Oh, what is Andrew talking to us? Who's he talking to?
exactly.
You gotta get closer. You eat your mic.
You gotta eat your
your
mic,
mic.
dude.
Are you eating my mic enough, man?
Oh my god.
All right, you can go ahead and say what you're saying.
Oh, I was just, you can go, dude. I was just saying, let's hear the host give some insight, dude.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying was like in my past relationship, how Austin was saying like how some people are like misaligned when it comes to like being consider whatever you consider high maintenance and low maintenance. I guess you would consider me high maintenance because I would be like, oh, like just message me when you get to school so like I know you got there safe or whatever. And then she's just like, but why? Like, I'm gonna be at school anyways, so like it was just super like just flashbacks, which
How
it
did-
makes sense.
How do you guys feel about that? Is it just because they're not aligned? Like, how do you fix that?
I feel like you can't really fix it because like, well, that was like towards the end of my relationship though, so it doesn't really matter. But like it
Like,
was kind.
hypothetically, if you tried to, what like?
I mean, we
It's just-
talked
it's
for me, we just talked about it, and I was like, oh, like I would really like appreciate it, and like it would make me feel a lot better, like if you told me like for example, if we would go home for like a weekend or something, and be like, oh, I got home, blah blah blah, whatever, and it wasn't there, it wasn't aligned, and it's just I feel like if you don't care, then you just don't care, so they just don't see the value in it.
You guys always text your friends or like partners when you like get someplace.
Um,
Not that much
not really.
anymore.
always like say that, like, oh, text me when you get home, but like sometimes you just
Forget.
forget.
Yeah.
And I bet sometimes the host or wherever you come from, they also forget. But like, I feel like literally last night, I told that to mom. Like, oh, hey, mom, I got home. Don't have to worry, so you can go to bed. I mean, I guess like that's important because
Mhm.
their parents don't know safe. And I
If
guess
you-
that's also the same thing about like with other people too. But I don't think you have to do like short amount of like you're just going down the road or something. Like you don't have to tell them, oh, I got there safe. Like maybe if when like you're traveling or you're like going someplace you don't usually go, I guess like that would be important. Other people that you love that you got there safe.
You have to either
You're
like,
going like this. Your bike's like over here. And you're just like, oh yeah, guys.
you have to
I
like
thought
either
she's
like
talking
lean
at like an
in.
angle
Sounds
from
like
like
it's-
over
yeah,
here, so
yeah,
it's like
You have to be straight
how I was
on,
talking it.
straight into the mic. Like imagine you're connected to the mic and your mouth is
The
it's just being-
microphone is an extension of you.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So what I was saying,
Yeah. So what are you
what I was
saying?
saying was, like the other night when I was driving back to our apartment, let mom know that I got home safe, so she can go to bed resting easy, knowing her child got home safe. But like for like other people like in your friendships or whatever, when you go over to the house and then it's like late and you like go home, they're like, oh, just text me when you get back. But sometimes like you just forget, or like, and then sometimes like even the person that told you to text them to text you.
My brain lost
Got
where
it.
they go.
Got it, bro.
She lost the train of thought, dude.
Yeah, we're so spaced out, guys.
Oh shit.
The host that told you to text them, they even sometimes they forget. But I was
Yeah.
saying just like I don't really feel like you need to if you're just like going down the road or something, or you're just going back to a place where you typically go. But if you're like traveling or something, or going to a place that you don't usually go to, or you've never been before, then I think it would be important then to tell significant other or like someone you care about, like you got there safe.
Question. I mean, yeah, well, I have a question. Is it a green flag if somebody was like, text me when you're home, but then you never text them, and then they text you and they're like, oh, did you get home safe? Like, they
No.
text you. That's not a green
No.
flag?
No, some
It's
people find
okay.
that annoying.
Annoying? I think
Yeah.
that's cute. You don't think that's cute, guys?
Some people find it annoying.
So,
Yeah.
not to at anybody, but you know, some people find that annoying.
I know who you're adding.
I think that's cute. The reason that I
Yeah, it
think
can
it's
seem overbearing.
cute, overbearing. You're just asking, like you didn't respond to see if you got home safe or not, and I asked you to text me. So like, why didn't you text me back?
Yes,
Well, like-
this goes back to what I was saying about
Overbearing.
high maintenance and low maintenance people. Some
But-
people don't care for that stuff. So
Yeah,
they'll
like
be
I said,
overbearing.
from my perspective, it was the end of my relationship, so it was just seemed like super controlling. So
So you're just saying,
Yeah.
are you saying that high maintenance person and a low maintenance person can't be together, or do they just have to compromise?
There's gonna be a lot of unnecessary fighting, probably.
Why
That's
are you
just the way
laughing,
it's gonna
Andrew?
be.
Why are you laughing? So who here thinks that's overbearing?
Some people think it's
Anybody?
overbearing.
Any-
Depends
does
on the
anyone
level
here?
of the depends on the level of the relationship.
You're like in it.
In it, what does
Win
that mean?
it.
In the
To
relationship.
win
bro.
it.
You're like, yeah,
Are we
you're in a
talking 3
relationship.
months or 3 years? What are we talking here?
Like a year, we'll say. That's like a good time amount.
I mean, it might be kind of annoying. At a year.
Annoying. Oh my! What do you think, Cindy?
Like I said before, like it depends on the situation. Are you going just down the road, or are you going somewhere you've never been before and you've been traveling all day or something? You know, like I think it's like if you're doing like every day or like wherever you go, like
Oh,
well,
like
let me know when you're.
all right, wait,
when you're
hold on.
there.
But here's a hypothetical. What if okay, so I know like you and Austin probably text a lot when he's at work. You not so much because you're not on your phone that much, but a decent amount still. What if Austin's going to work and you know that he can't check his phone for like 6 hours straight? Like, would you want him to message you and be like, "Oh, I got to work. Like, I hope you have a good day," and like just continue on with your day? Or like, do you think that's overbearing?
No, like that's fine for me. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'll know that he's at work, he's doing his own thing. I mean, like I assume that he got to work safe. Whatever. I'll be I'll get worried when it's like 4:30 and he's not home yet and still texting me anything like all day. Then I'll be worried. But like,
Yeah, there are times where I'll leave at like 6:30 and I'll get home at 4:30. We haven't talked all day. Sometimes. Pretty rare, but it happens.
Who are you,
I
Andrew?
think-
What do you think?
oh,
Oh, Judy,
Andrew,
you
go
want to
first.
give your take?
I-
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna. Oh, if Andrew wants to say something first, he
Is-
can go.
I used to care a lot. I decided to stop doing it.
he
Just like
decided.
asking. Because like as Cindy said, like maybe they're just going down the road and you don't need to know, and like you just assume they got there safely, and we just text a lot, so I just know that they're okay. I don't need to know where they are 24/7, I guess. But like I don't care for it. and I'd do it if they were like gone far away somewhere and they've never been there. Obviously, I'd be like, okay, get home safe. Call me if you need to like walk home. If you're walking home in the
Next door.
dark or something. Yeah, not next. Yeah, but she's like
That's
she lives
fine,
next
though.
door to me and she walks like 2 seconds back to her house. I'm not gonna be
Are
like,
you
"Did you make
okay?"
it safe?" Maybe I would be like, "Hey, you want me to walk you over?" And then I can just walk back if I really wanted to like make sure she was okay. But yeah, at that point she could just go through our backyards and just get home too. So
Just
But
hop the
also,
fence,
like,
dude.
sometimes, sometimes it's nice because you never know,
yeah,
You never know.
I was just
sometimes
about
it's
to say,
nice. I
does
just
this
want to
stem
check
from the
in.
fear of the outdoors and like the fear of
Yeah,
something
dude.
could happen? And I think
Uh,
that's maybe a fear that your mom instilled in all of you.
your
Your
mom.
mom.
And for me, I just I don't even think anything's dangerous outside or like any people or the nighttime or or driving. So
I
all those like
mean,
dangers I don't even consider as dangers.
I mean, like
and
the other night when you were dropping off your sister, she was living in. I mean, we know she lives in like a sketchy-ish part of town, and there's like 2 dark alleyways, like next to or surrounding her house. Like Austin's like, oh, nothing's gonna happen to her, but like also like she's a young girl. Like, she's like, oh, nothing's. It was late. Austin just starts driving off. I'm like, you're not gonna wait for her to even like walk
bye.
inside.
Yeah, that's just my own issue I gotta work through because I don't have that fear. It's different when you're a guy and you're outside at night. You're not afraid of those things. You're not thinking about those things. You guys have to think about them, unfortunately. That's just the case.
I think about
I think about him. Okay, here's my take.
Sorry,
Okay.
everyone's cutting you off.
I was never mind.
What?
Take or no
What?
I
take.
was gonna say I think I care because we're in a long distance relationship, so I just always ask him if he's home yet, so like I don't bother him while he's driving. So I'm just like, just text me when you're home so I can call you or whatever, type of thing.
Does he get annoyed though?
He gets annoyed if I'm calling him when he's driving.
Well, see,
So
that's different.
That's different, yeah.
Based. I would get annoyed too in that situation.
so it's different.
That's
It's
different though.
different for people. Yeah.
I'm not
I mean,
overbearing.
if you said text me when you're home and you're calling him when he hasn't texted you yet, yeah, I'd
Hey!
get annoyed. I would be like, why the fuck are you calling me?
Hey, get the fuck out, please.
All right.
Beautiful.
Well, moving on.
Moving on.
You have to bleep that. Yeah,
Beep.
you gotta get
Beep.
demonetized for that.
For what?
The F-bomb.
Oh, true. YouTube cracking down. Has to be kid friendly.
Yeah,
Anyways.
we're kids.
I have a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Now that we talked about healthy relationships, what do you think an unhealthy relationship looks like?
Everything you just said.
What do you mean everything I just said? What does that
He's
mean?
basically calling you a red flag. Whatever you.
Your overbearing traits.
I'm not overbearing.
What you just said was.
Well, I think
What?
it's hard to define what a toxic relationship is because it's different to everybody, you know.
Toxic? Like,
Yeah.
you're wearing that to go out? You look like
I think the general consensus of a toxic relationship is like being like super controlling, be like, oh, you can't wear that to go out and stuff like that.
or you
Like,
can't hang out with those friends.
Trolling, manipulative.
Bullying?
I mean, the god of
Bullying.
all like toxic is ultimatums. That's just the most toxic thing you can do aside
Would you
from
still
actually
love
breaking up
me
with someone.
if I was a worm?
That's not an
You
ultimatum.
do-
What?
An ultimatum right there.
No, it's not. An ultimatum
not?
is you're gonna stop hanging out with your guy coworker, otherwise we're done. That's like an ultimatum.
oh, so you're
Oh,
calling
my
me
internet just
toxic?
deleted itself.
Ah, that's different. That's different.
Oh,
Oh,
rip
bye,
Judy.
Cindy.
No, that
Oh,
was
bye,
Judy,
Judy.
dude. Judy said her internet died. She'll be back though. We can just continue.
Oh, okay.
Guys, toxic.
So you think
So
I'm
is he
toxic?
Well, no, it also depends on the context of the ultimatum, I think. So in that scenario, that guy was being a creep. And that's one problem that I have. I mean, I think that most people would have this problem, but I don't want to make this like a gender specific thing, but I think when someone has a friend of another sex and their partner
Okay.
can see that that friend is showing interest in them, regardless of showing like without showing respect to the relationship, I think it's an extremely big red flag when that person does not understand that and like want to cut them off themselves, and then it has to come to the partner. It has to like be the partner's responsibility to bring it up. I think that's toxic in my opinion. So for example, you have, a guy, his girlfriend has a guy coworker who's clearly interested in her, and he knows that she's in a relationship, but he's like not respecting the bounds of the relationship. And the boyfriend has to step in and say, "Do you not like? Why aren't you tell this guy to back off? Like this is messed up." And the girl will just claim no responsibility for it. I think that's incredibly toxic, in my opinion. So yes, I think context matters when it comes to ultimatums. It's different if it's just like pure jealousy and there's like no grounds for it. You're just saying, just like you have to do this, or I'm gonna stop making your lunches every day. So I don't know.
What?
No more
But
lunches for you.
I don't think that's like a gender specific thing. Like I feel like that's can happen on both sides.
Yeah, definitely. I used the example of like guy like trying to get with girl because that's more accurate than like a girl not respecting a relationship. Although it happens obviously. But guys are the hunters. They're the predators, so they see something they want, they're gonna go for it.
Hypothetically, I love hypotheticals, guys.
Okay, great.
This
What you
podcast is just
got?
going to become all hypotheticals.
Basically.
Hypothetically, if you had a friend, let's say you're pretty good friends, and then you start dating your girlfriend, and then your girlfriend's like, and your friend's a girl, and then your girlfriend's like, I don't like her. You have to stop being friends with her. Would you?
That's incredibly toxic.
But like she sees that that your
Is this
friend's being
something that you
flirty
did?
with you.
Is this
No, it's
something you
not
did?
something I did.
This is just like a basic question that I feel like a
This
lot
is
of
a
people
basic
ask.
hypothetical, yeah. Like you've been
Would
friends
you guys
before
still
you're
love
friends with
me
your
if I was a
girlfriend.
worm?
No. Would you? Would you?
I think
like
my
she's
opinion my
'cause-
opinion of that situation is that there's enough foundation that shows that they were friends before you guys got together. So that relationship can exist as only friends. Like it's been proven
Ooh.
that it's just friends. You know what
How
I mean?
about you are friends after
What does that even mean? What?
you made a new girlfriend, a coworker
Okay.
at work.
So you just described the exact situation I talked about like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, but what would you do? You
What would
you
I do
drop them?
personally?
You can't drop them though. They're coworker.
Hypothetically, yes, I'd have no problem stopping to talk to them if they were a brand new person who showed no respect towards my relationship. Yeah, I would. That's a pretty easy answer.
Wow, what a good person, guys.
Hypothetically, that's a great answer. Hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically, he's a good person. Nice.
Yeah,
Hypothetically.
Uh,
Hey,
Any
look,
other hypothetical questions, Judy?
No, my brain's dead, guys.
Oh no.
Andrew,
yeah,
what about
Andrew,
you?
what's your take on toxic relationships, or what a toxic relationship looks like to you?
Abusive, manipulative, ultimatums, all those.
Uh,
My brain doesn't work anymore.
yeah, I don't think
All
brain is
right.
working, guys. Well, me,
We're gonna
me,
keep
me,
going.
me.
All
You
right,
ask
go
me.
ahead, Judy. Go ahead, Judy.
I think a toxic relationship is when you start feeling like you don't have any thoughts
Why are you talking
for
so much?
yourself.
Yeah, why are you talking like that?
I'm trying to think. Does that make
Just
sense?
You feel like
processing
you don't have any
three
thoughts for
frames at a second.
yourself.
Does that make sense?
So
Yes
you're being
and no.
manipulated.
Like
Yeah,
you are
you're being
framed.
manipulated. You're framed.
Oh my gosh.
Is that what you mean?
Framed. Yeah.
You're being controlled like a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Like gaslighting.
I love gaslighting.
Gaslighting's kind of different. Gaslighting's like emotional manipulation.
It's a form of gaslighting.
Yeah, I guess.
Gaslighting scares me, guys.
Me too. So one time I didn't know the definition of gaslighting, and then I said it in like the really like the worst context, and then I had to look it up and then apologize to the person I said it to.
Why? What does that mean?
Because he was
I was
wrong,
like-
dude.
Yeah, I was like, well, I
So
thought
he was
gaslighting.
gaslighting.
I thought gaslighting was just like a form of comedy and just like.
Oh no.
So I thought it was like some dark humor shit, and then I was like, and I read it, I was like, emotional manipulation. I was like, oh, that's not
Yeah,
fun.
gaslighting's not real. You're just
Yeah.
imagining it.
He's gaslighting you right now, dude.
I mean, I feel like friends sort of gaslight each other,
All the
Like-
time.
like in
Yeah,
a
but they can
funny,
handle it, you know,
hee
because
ha
they're
ha
quote
way.
unquote friends.
In a hee hee ha
Do you
ha
have
way.
toxic friendships?
Toxic friendships. Those are
Definitely.
the best friendships, dude. Look at-
Do you think toxic friendships make stronger bonds?
Good
Because you
point.
can say a lot more shit to them, and they'll take it, but then they'll also talk a lot more shit about you. You know what I mean?
Depends if it's lighthearted.
Yeah, toxicity is good.
So if you don't know me like that,
You don't know me
Right.
like that.
then it's
Right.
not good. Yeah, okay.
Everybody's a little bit toxic and they can handle a certain amount of toxic until they're actually dying from toxicity. Wow!
Wow, great words,
Great.
great words.
Amazing!
All right, here's it.
Toxicity is bad, guys. Don't be toxic.
Do you think if people think that flirting is cheating, that's toxic?
Did we talk about that already?
Flirting
No.
is cheating.
Kind
Is
of.
flirting cheating?
How do you feel about people with like flirty personalities? That's just
Huh?
my personality. Some people are like, oh, it's like, oh, your girlfriend's flirting with me, and then they're like, nah, that's just her personality.
I would agree with that.
That's
You
toxic.
would you would think it's real, like their personality is
I think
flirty,
flirting can be a personality. Yeah.
but like is
Agreed.
flirting cheating to you?
No.
No, unless they
Interesting.
act on it willingly. Who knows?
Interesting. No, I say it could be a I think it's a personality thing. Because I think I have that personality.
Oh my
Hey, yo.
god!
Cindy, how do you feel about that, Cindy? How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's not gender specific. I flirt with the homies too. What do you mean?
Hey, yo.
I flirt with everyone, but it's like a form of teasing. It's not like it's like a playground teasing. It's not like a active. I don't know. Depends on your definition of flirting. Like what is considered flirting?
Flirting is flirting.
Flirting, yeah, flirting is flirting, dude.
Flirting.
I think that flirting and like hitting on someone's different. Like hitting on someone's it's like a directed
Flirt.
comment.
Behave as though attracted to or trying to attract someone. But
Wouldn't
for
that-
Basically.
but
That's
for-
basically like,
but
but
for amusement rather than with serious intention.
Oh, so by that
so-
definition, yeah, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
but
Didn't let me finish. But
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 Yeah, it's definitely not cheating then.
The
By that definition,
personality.
it's not even close.
Yeah.
Would it make you uncomfortable though?
What?
Like if Cindy wants just to go flirt with some guy?
I
I was
assume
like,
she
hey honey,
probably does.
I got free beer.
I assume she probably does already.
Hey, yo.
Why is that a bad thing to assume? I think everyone does to an extent.
Probably.
Because everyone, yeah, see? She said probably.
probably.
I mean,
People can be attracted and it's not cheating.
yeah,
It's
like
not
you
a
think about
problem.
how many other people there are in the world. You're like, wow, you're a really good looking person. Like, there's something wrong with that.
I
Yeah,
agree.
There's people that we would mutually find attractive too. So it's like,
I agree.
We're like, damn, you see that person? Yeah.
Hey, what's
yeah, you and my
hidden?
brother do that all the time.
What?
Yeah.
You said
So
you,
we're like, Cindy and my brother will do that all the time.
It's
We're
him
like,
first. He's like, damn. And I'm like,
you do it sometimes too, though. We're walking in the mall and you'll like look at him because you saw someone, and then he'll look. And I don't know, you'll make sure that he
yes,
gets a
I
glance.
know.
Yeah,
And you always miss.
yeah. I have what I want. I don't need to be looking.
oh, what are you saying about Cindy then?
W Riz. W.
W
Ah,
Riz.
why did you turn that to a negative thing, Al?
You
What?
said it. You said it. You said you have what you want. So why would I be looking? Cindy's looking, dude.
No,
Oh.
she didn't say that.
What do you mean?
I'm saying she's
That's
looking.
not
I'm
mine.
saying
You
she's
got-
looking at other girls.
She got nice ass. I'm like, damn. This brother's
Yeah,
like,
she's
"Damn."
like finding girls for my brother to gawk at.
Yeah. It's not like.
Like a girl with a fat
Yeah.
ass walks by, she'll like nudge Alec, and
Monkey
Alec will turn around and
ass.
be like, "Damn!"
I'm scared, dude.
It's mostly him though. He'll be like, and then I'll look around. I'm like, see it.
I see it. Thank
I'm
you.
like, oh, that one. He's like,
He
All
always
right.
says he'll be like checking out a girl, and then he'll like look over his shoulder, and Cindy will be like, looking at Kazan.
We
Who's
just
the
got an
most-
HD close up of Austin's face.
Who's the most flirty out of all of us right now?
Austin.
Yeah, I
shit.
agree.
The men think he's gay.
It's me. It's to the point.
Flirt
Yeah, it's to the
master.
point where I attract gay men like regularly.
So many.
Hmm. How
Like
would you
gay
rate
men.
the flirt scale? To rank all of us. Flirt master.
Me the most, Judy the least.
Judy the least.
That's an easy one. Come on. Come on, guys. That's an easy one. Judy can't flirt. I'm
I
sorry.
can. I'm
You
W
cannot.
flirt. W
You have
Riz.
zero riz. Zero
So much
riz.
Riz.
W Riz.
Your riz is like scratch the chin a couple
Nah.
times and slurp into your microphone. See, that is it.
There it is, there it
There it is. There it is.
Now, one day we have to all go to the club and see who can get the most bitches.
No, because the game is stacked against us. We're men.
Why?
It's
No,
unfair.
you
It's
said you
unfair.
get men too. Okay, Austin.
Yeah, I could get a man
Yeah.
pretty easy.
Me and
So?
Austin could probably rack up a nice amount of people.
Yeah, let's go.
just-
Competition right now.
I'm just saying, females got it easy. You don't understand the struggles of being a guy. We already talked about this in the first episode. You have to like be the clever one. You got to be the one to court the female. The female has a freaking line out the door of applicants that just want to smash, and it's just like
And-
you could literally just pick any one of them and just be like, "I'm gonna talk to you," and they'd be like, "All right, I'm down," and they would talk to you. You know how hard it is for a guy to approach a woman and
Oh my
like
God.
just start a conversation with them? It's like it's freaking a nightmare.
That just reminded me of the first time I downloaded Tinder, and I've been on Tinder for like 3 months, and then I saw no, it's so cursed. I saw my ex on Tinder, and then I messaged her. It's like, oh, you're on Tinder, like your Tinder profile is a little bit messed up there, and she's like, oh, I didn't make it. And then I was like, oh, like how many likes do you have? And she's like, oh, I've only been here for like three days or something, and I have like 115 likes. And I was like, what? I've been on Tinder for like half a year, and I had like 10 likes.
That's just how it goes. So Judy doesn't need Riz to get guys. That's all I'm saying.
That's like
You
when I
don't
look
need-
at Judy's
you don't need
Tinder
to have
too.
game. You don't
Nah,
need
if
to have
you're,
game.
if you're an attractive male. What about that?
You still need to have game.
Okay, but
No.
You do. You absolutely do. You're only saying that because you can choose them and like be satisfied. If they're attractive, that's good enough for you. I'm saying for most people, you would need game though. I would think you would anyway. Because as soon as you open your mouth, you sound stupid. It's like it's over. It's over.
Yeah, so me,
people
I
like
can't
that.
get anyone then.
It's like that.
Not true. Guys will still hit even if you have no game. I'm telling you.
That's true.
Hit.
Guys will still hit. They'll be like, man, this girl is corny as fuck, but I'm still gonna hit. It's just a thing that happens in guys' brains.
Sus.
Yeah, it is sus, but that's the reality. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules.
Who makes the rules then?
The women.
Austin.
They have all the control. Unfortunately. They've got the goods. The guys are going after it. It's up to them to impress them.
Right.
Am I wrong? Thoughts? No?
I mean, is it?
You're definitely
'cause- is
right,
it-
in my opinion.
I don't know. I feel like you're right and wrong.
She
Wrong
just
about you
thinks she
having
has
game.
Riz, dude.
She just doesn't,
The
man.
viewers, the viewers, the viewers. Hey, being quirky is Riz right there. There's you can't just be.
Well, some people find
uh,
quirky really cringe.
Yeah, quirky is synonymous with
quirky.
cringe.
That's
As
so
being-
quirky.
What do you guys define as quirky?
Quirky,
Mm,
torky.
quirky walks a fine line of cringe and innocent, I guess you could say. Like,
Sus.
you got one side you have cringe, and then on one side you have like, what's the word? It's not innocent. I'm thinking of something else. Like
Quirky.
unique maybe, and then right down the middle you have quirky.
Characterized by peculiar or unexpected traits.
Yeah, so like unique and cringe. And quirky's down the middle. So like you could definitely be unique, but you can also be cringe. So you gotta be
How you
careful
feel about
what
that, Judy?
quirky
You just defined yourself as quirky, and now Austin's saying you're unique and cringe.
I'm
I
saying
feel
you walk the
great.
fine line between unique and cringe.
At least I'm unique and cringe.
See, that was a nice way to spin it. That was a nice way to spin your quirkiness into like a positive thing. So that was unique. Congratulations.
Own
not
yourself.
cringe.
Be
Yay.
yourself. Hey, at least I'm cool.
All right, that was cringe.
That was pretty cringe.
It's so cool, dude.
At
Yeah.
least I'm cool.
That was so cool. W Riz right there. That's what she's
Yeah.
messaging all the guys. I'm so
Much
cool.
I'm so cool, man.
Your Tinder profile could be that shit in your hair right now, and you'd still get matches. That's
All right, moving on to the main topic of this podcast, or what it was supposed to be, and then we just ended up talking about random shit. I feel like, but I mean, we started to talk about it. The only person that hasn't ended a relationship is Judy.
I have ended a relationship.
No,
Not
you
really.
haven't. I don't even know.
Yes,
We were
I
talking about it, and we just stopped
have.
talking
No.
about. No. You've never ended a
Yeah.
relationship.
not a real one.
It's real. E-dating. E-dating is real. We dated for 1 month.
Oh, what
All right. So then, who has been on the side of being dumped?
I
Judy. No, you haven't, Judy. Put your hand down. Austin has.
the-
Cindy, have you been dumped?
Austin would say I have not been dumb. Because e-dating is
e-dating.
not real. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not real, Cindy. It doesn't count. Put your hand down.
Andrew, have you been dumped?
Mutual dump? I don't know.
Mutual dump.
Mutual break. Mutual dump.
Alan, have you been in a dumpy?
Have I been in a dumpy? Hold on. What do you mean by that?
I hope so.
A dumpy? Or what?
I sure hope so.
What do you mean by that?
Have you been dumped?
Of course.
Right.
This guy said, of course. So
Of
confident.
course.
Of course. So many red flags, dude. So many red flags on both sides.
Did you get dumped or you got dumpied?
Can we stop saying that? Can we?
So before we get into like being dumped, what's the steps leading up to being dumped before you dump a person?
That's true. How did you know that relationship was over? That's true.
I don't know. Never been dumped.
Austin can go first.
From the perspective of being dumped or the person that is doing the dumping?
Like, did you see it coming?
From both sides.
Or just oblivious?
No.
Dumping and,
But-
and being dumped.
I didn't see it coming, but I think part of that was because it was my first relationship, and I didn't ever think that it would end. Thought it was like a forever thing. So like, no matter how bad it got, I always thought that it would keep going.
But what about
You
from the
agree,
other
Alan?
side?
What about-
Oh, well, yeah,
Well, I think you can
definitely
connect with
agree.
that feeling.
Definitely. It was like an endless cycle.
Yeah.
Of just arguing and then being like, oh, it's never going to be over because I love you so much.
Yep.
And then it just keeps
'cause
going.
You're the one that's being dumped, and so like you are the one that's going to be the most willing to want to work through those problems. Whereas the person that feels like they're just going to dump you, it's like they can wash their hands with those issues and move on.
Because they've already
still
thought
think
about
about
it and they've already committed to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've probably already left the relationship before they even actually dump you. So
Yeah.
So then how far, or how much do you need to work on the relationship before it's like, it's just like over?
I don't think it's fixable.
Do you think couples therapy works then?
I don't know, man.
Only if
I don't
both
think so.
sides want
Oh,
to do
yeah,
it.
I was gonna say only if both sides are agreeing to like that they want to do it. But like I said,
I really don't think so. Because when you reach that point in a relationship, and I'm only saying this because I know the perspective of both sides of being dumped and doing the dumping, I think that deciding to dump someone is like, it's like the easiest solution to all your problems. So you have this like mess of problems in this box, and the easiest solution is to just, once you realize the easiest solution is to just throw the box away, and you're okay with that, there's no fixing it. In my opinion, there's no saving it. There's nothing you can do to like fix it because you've already writ them off in your head. You're like, I don't need these issues, and I can just move on with my life, and they can work on it themselves, sort of thing. That's just my opinion on that.
do you think
I'm
that's
sure there are
how?
couples that can work it through it, but I don't think it would ever work for me.
Do you think that's how the majority of dumpings go? There's one part of the party is just left and checked out, while the
Yeah.
other person's just sitting there trying to fight for them.
Unless the other person knows it's coming and has also like geared themselves up for it. Sometimes it depends, depends how many relationships both people have had before then. Because if it's your first relationship, you open up your heart to be its most vulnerable it's ever going to be. And then once you get it broken once, no matter how hard you try, there will always be barriers. And then learning to love again is like opening up those vulnerabilities once again. But with the idea of the pain that could follow, so you're just a little more prepared. First time's always the worst, I think.
Does anybody else have any perspective on it other than me and Austin?
I mean, hasn't Cindy technically dumped somebody? So
Yeah,
Are we just-
have? What do you mean?
I mean, are we only talking about being like getting dumped, or
No, we're talking about
getting
both.
dumped.
We're talking about
Oh,
I
both.
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Cindy, on your other side of the perspective, how does it feel to dump someone?
I mean, like Alan said, like it's usually like one-sided, and so when you're the one doing the dumping, like you've thought about all these things, like, oh, I just don't like about this person, and like all those little things build up, but then like, or like, I don't know. At that point that I was doing the dumping, I was like, I'm just like, it's not like I hated them or like anything. It was just like, I'm just done. You're
Yeah,
just like,
you had this bag of issues, and you're like, we
You just
could
gotta,
work
like,
through
check-
it, but I could
yeah,
just
check
throw it
out.
away. I could just get rid of it, and then
And,
it's not my
like,
problem.
And he was like, "Oh, this is so unexpected. Like, we can just fix it. Like, this doesn't make sense." Like, that's literally like what he said. But like, to me, like at that point, it's like,
Unfixable.
it's just like, there's, there's no
Is
point,
it
you know.
is it unfixable or just like you just don't want to fix it?
I think it's just like I don't think it's. I think I was just like done. Like I didn't see like any future for us. Like
But
even
often,
though we were like we had the same interests and like compatible, it's just I don't know.
Missing
You just
something.
you just know it's like something's off. Not. I mean, like a couple years later after that, though, I'm still unpacking. It's like, oh, some of the things in that relationship were kind of like,
Jakers.
yeah.
I
So,
think
like,
what time you realize how weird or bad or whatever you want to say about your past relationships are definitely open your mind a lot about what happened. So
yeah, and you like think about it, and like he would just be like, "Oh, you can't go out or you can hang out with them," and like, shit, that's like talking about toxic relationship, like or toxic aspects of relationship. Like that was I was like afraid to go hang out with my friends. I know with a couple months or after getting out of the relationship, like oh, that's a really bad relationship. And it's also like I think what really pushed me over the edge in that relationship was like he's told me in this past about like how he's like gotten physical and gotten in fights and stuff. And then like when we were getting in a fight, like it was like we went on a trip, we were fighting. It was like the whole weekend. And then once we got back to like the apartment, he like got in my face. And like that's like one thing, like, no, I am not dealing with this.
Oh
Like that's the
no.
one thing that like, no, 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 no.
I'm out of here.
Bye, bitch.
He's like, oh no, I'm so sorry that happened. I'm like, oh no, 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 no.
If it happens once, it's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Peace out. What about Andrew? How is your mutual dumping? Dumping.
It got to the point where we knew nothing was gonna change. It was just like a static relationship, which we were fine being in, but we're like, okay, well, if we really love each other, then we will just give each other like another chance, and like we'll both set each other free and be like, well, maybe you find somebody and maybe you don't, and like, and if you never find anybody, then that'll be okay because we'll always have each other. And then we're like, okay, well, bye. Now that was it.
Ah, bitch.
I just think that's weird though, now thinking about it, because like your relationship now, obviously, like you're not even friends with her really anymore, but like you didn't end on bad terms, but you're not friends. So like
I
you
guess we're
find
still friends. I don't really talk to her anymore. Um, yeah.
Like, it's not like you'll never talk to her ever again.
It's not like I'll never talk to her ever again. It's just if she reaches out, she reaches out, and if I reach out, then I reach out. But it's not like I'm making an effort to like,
Yeah.
you know, maintain that relationship with them if I want them to be better off for themselves. But
Look at this man and his
so
healthy
we just, yeah,
relationships.
so we just both decided, okay, there's nothing we can both do, and nothing's gonna change anytime soon. So we'll just give each other or save each other some time, I guess. It was fine.
saving time.
Is there anything in the way that you either you ended the relationship or how the relationship ended that you'd want to change?
Of
Anybody?
course.
What?
Andrew can go
You
first.
know, like when you're done in a relationship, I think there's like a lot of self-reflection in the, days that follow or months, and then you just wonder, like as Austin said, you're just so vulnerable, and then you're just wondering, do I need to maybe change for myself or change for other people? Like, is my vulnerability not something I should be like ashamed of? So you just start, I don't know, growing and learning about yourself and about like other people, I guess. So I think breaking off a relationship that's not good for you is good for growing as a person. And knowing when to cut off certain relationships is good.
You have something to say, Cindy? But your mic real close to you.
I'm just tired of sitting up, so I want to be back here.
Was there anything
But-
that you wanted to change?
But it's also like Andrew said, like sometimes, like as much as I love you, Austin, sometimes I'm like, I wonder if I should have just like taken time between like my previous like boyfriend and the Austin, because like that, even though Austin says dating is not real, I've like jumped into like one relationship to another, and like never had that time, like Andrew said, like that self-reflection time. And I don't know, but like can't really think about it that now anyways, because like everything's like happened the way it has, and like it
You
is
want
what
time?
it is. What?
You want time now?
Not like this. I'm scared, dude. Not like this.
Some people recover a whole lot faster than other people. Some people just take like a day or two and then just like, okay, I'm fine now.
I think a part of that though is like, especially if you're the person dumping them, like we said, like you're so checked out that like once you end the relationship, like after like a week or something, you'll be fine, because it's like you've been so checked out for so long probably. So
That's why I can feel so cruel, because the person is already checked out months before or weeks or whatever. They've already,
Yeah.
paid their mental tax on this, and so they could just be cruel with it. The other person's like, I didn't see this coming. Why are you doing this? And the other person's like, too bad. I already made up my mind.
Whoopsie-doopsie.
Yeah, it's like they don't give a shit. They're just like,
Oh, oopsie doopsie.
it's like whatever, man.
Alan.
I'm just done.
I have a question specifically for Alan. He doesn't have to answer if he doesn't want to.
go ahead, dude.
So talking about how you like you want if you could change something about the way your relationship ended, was there ever a point in your relationship where you, or after the relationship, where you wish you're like, oh, I wish I could have ended it instead of the other way
Oh
around?
no, for sure. I
Because
was talking to Zoe about it, our cousin, the other day. That's just at work because we had nothing to do because we were so not busy. So like it was just an easy one. And Zoe, like I said, our cousins, we were just talking about like our lives and like how like relationships at a young age is really weird. How like really, like Austin said, you have to like it's a different type of love where you open yourself and you're so vulnerable and stuff. So like for the way that my relationship ended, I think she was pretty checked out of it at like the last year of it. So like this is extremely toxic and don't ever do this, guys. But like I always threatened like, oh, like
Oh no, not the threats.
like we should just break up then if like, yeah, like I don't know, like if like I said, I don't know how much I want to put out there, but like it's like the way that it ended, I think it's pretty fair for me to say that she cheated on me. But yeah, like my breakup was really long and drawn out, so I'd probably say it was like I said, the whole last year of a relationship was just us like going like fighting and just like we're just extremely unhappy and stuff. And like I don't know, like I wish like you were asking me like if I wish I would have ended it, which like I said that like I should have been the one that ended it, because like it was, you don't think I should have ended it? Well, why are you shaking your head no, Cindy?
I think you should.
I think that she should have been one that ended it earlier, because she was the one that's usually the one that is checked. Sorry.
I understand what you're trying to say now.
Usually the one that is like checked out of the relationship, they're just like so far gone, like they don't care, like they should just do the breakup. But then there's like, when you think about you and her relationship, there's like a whole bunch of other factors. But I still think it was unfair to do to you.
Well, because she was trying to make your responsibility. She was trying to make you the one to break up with her so that she wasn't the bad guy, which is so messed up on like so many levels.
I understand what Cindy was trying to say, because like if they ended it earlier, Alan probably wouldn't have been hurt that bad, and they could have done whatever they wanted to, I guess, because they have been so checked out for such a long time. I guess that could have like preserved, like make the end not that bad, I guess.
That's like you think about it. It's like, okay, the other person's already checked out in the mental
Mhm.
warfare. Like, so like the typical, like, I guess you could, I don't know if you say it's like a typical relationship. One person's completely checked out, and you break up with the person's like, oh, I'm not expecting this. I feel like, would you say that like mental, what am I trying to say here?
Destruction, like not mental destruction.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, would you think that
Stress.
mental stress is
Yeah.
better than like probably better than like the long drawn out, like, well, I'm already checked out, so I'm just gonna wait till you're checked out too and drag this on, fight all the time, then rather than breaking up with you, like that, like compare that mental stress to the mental stress like I mentioned before. Like, do you think you would have just recovered better of if she ended it earlier, or the way that you ended it, you know?
Well, I mean, like I said, I feel like I should have been the one that ended it sooner because, like, I had a feeling that she was checked out, but like, I didn't think that she was like as checked out as she was. But like, there's just like that whole last year, like I said, like it just like it's hard because like we still spent a lot of time together, like we were still doing stuff together, and like that last year of our relationship was literally like peak pandemic. So like we went home and like we weren't really seeing each other because of the pandemic. We were forced to quarantine. We didn't see each other that often. And like after we did start seeing each other again, when we went back to school, like it was just hard because it was like we lived together, but we were still arguing about stuff. And it's just like, like there's just some days that felt like, oh, okay, it's gonna get better with time because like we get to spend time with each other again and stuff. And like I don't know if that's just because like she's just alone and I'm alone, like we didn't really have friends and stuff, so like I don't know, just definitely like if the relationship ended sooner it would have been easier for me, yes, but like yeah, I don't know if anything I'm saying makes sense.
There's like a lot of what ifs or buts or whatever, but whatever
Yeah.
that saying is. But like, yeah.
I
Yeah.
also think that like we even told you like, damn, bro, you should just do it. You should just break up. And
I
I
mean,
think
like Austin
because
said though, like your first love is so
yeah,
different and you're so
Yeah.
vulnerable, and like you just don't like Andrew said, it takes a lot of time and reflection, and like I'm still reflecting and like yeah.
that's what I was just about to say.
It's like blinded by love. Like, there are a lot of times where like, oh, Alan, this is this, and like you shouldn't do this or you should do that. Like, it's like, no, it'll be fine. But like, we're
But
like,
it wasn't
okay,
fine.
yeah. But all of us are saying, well,
Well, I know
he's
you guys were just supporting me and whatever decision I make, but like
yeah, but like it's your life, your relationship. Like sometimes you have to learn from those.
mistakes.
Yeah,
Not mistake. I don't know mistakes, but
oh, you learn from those situations.
yeah, you learn from the situations.
And you grow.
What?
Then you
learn
grow.
and you
Oh,
grow and
yeah.
you reflect.
I thought you said Uniqlo. I was like, what? Why are you talking about Uniqlo right now?
Yeah, it's Uniqlo.
But it's definitely, like Andrew said, a lot of self-reflection. Like I said, it's been like 2 years and I'm still reflecting. Like, but
Is it
like
2 years?
almost 2 years.
Almost.
Happy 2 years.
Happy
Happy
2
New
years.
Wow, thanks. I've been single for 2 years. What should I do with my life now? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like what I was gonna say is like it's been almost 2 years now, and it's much easier to talk about it. Like I was talking to Zoe about it, and she's like, yeah, you're talking about it now openly, and like you don't seem like you're that sad about it. So it's like
Don't seem
you can, well, it's only because I've had time to reflect on it, and it's like
yeah.
yeah, it's just nothing can heal it other than just time, so it's fine.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Since I'm the only one that hasn't either been dumped or actually dumped somebody, how does that like affect your emotional state? Guess because I feel like it's a big emotion to go through because everybody's always like, you don't know how it feels like unless you've actually been through it, like being dumped or whatever.
I would agree with that because like I don't know. It just feels like literally your soul is being sucked out of you, especially if you're blindsided by it. Like for me, when she told me what happened, like I think I told you guys, like I literally just went to the bathroom and just threw up, and like I was just there for like half an hour on the floor, and like I don't even know what happened. I was just crying, like you just don't know what to do with yourself at that point. And like for me, like I was like I said, it was like a really long, like drawn out process. So it's like I was so like I don't know, literally just felt like it was like it was the end of the world. Like I could just die right there and it wouldn't have mattered.
Anybody have anything to go up with that?
Well, since I technically haven't been real life dumped.
Throwing up that
Mhm.
toxicity,
Go
dude.
on, go on.
Throwing up that
Even
toxicity.
even doing the dumping, it still, at least for me, it still feels bad. Like after I dumped my ex, like I cried. Maybe just because of like the relief or like the feeling badness. Like I don't know, haven't really reflected on that, but like cried after that. Like in my
Okay.
car after I did it. I don't know. Maybe it's just like, oh, I finally did it. Like I don't know. But I still feel, for me, I still felt bad, of course.
What about you, Austin? Can you relate to anything I said?
Yeah. I was just in so much shock. I didn't really understand what was happening in the moment, but I like also kind of saw it coming, so I tried to play it cool, I guess you could say. I was like, we had the talk, and I said, yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of saw this coming, and I didn't quite realize like how hurt I was in the moment. And then I'm pretty sure like 3 or 4 months went by, and I'm not sure what happened in those 3 months. I did a lot of stuff that I'm not too proud of, and I spent a lot of nights in my room just being depressed and, you know,
I think
coping with the pain with various substances.
what makes it so hard for me, or what did
He said, "That's right."
he said that and I just lost my train of thought.
That's right.
Oh, okay. I know what I was gonna say. I think for me, because we still hung out, like I would say a decent amount after we broke up. Like I would still go stay at her place and stuff. Like for me, that's it. Just made it harder for me. So like I feel like once you break up and like you realize that you can't be friends anymore, it's like, well, at least for me, like I knew like I said it to before we even ended our relationship. I was like, oh, like we can never be friends. Like you know that, right? Like she's like yeah, I guess it makes sense. But like at the same time, she was still entertaining the idea of me being friends with her still. So it's like now I'm just like, well, I'm just a fucking idiot because like we can't even be friends because it's like you have all these feelings for them, and it's like no matter what you think, like those feelings will always be there in my opinion. But like, yeah, I don't know.
It's a ha got him moment.
It's a you stupid. It's a you stupid moment because you can't ever just be friends.
You can't. You just
Something
can't.
that it's like you're like weaning yourself off of them. You know, I feel like that's what you're trying to do.
Interesting word.
We're weaning
That's what-
ourselves.
That's kind of an interesting
That's what we
word.
explain. What do you mean by that? It's
You're
actually
you're slowly like
You're detoxing from them.
The word,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Starting to Google another word.
No, you don't need to Google
We're
it for us. You
learning a lot of words
understand.
today.
Metering yourself
We're,
off.
we're learning a lot of words today.
Come on, guys, we're so smart.
Yes, we were learning stuff on this show.
We know what weaning means, Cindy.
Weaning.
Yeah, what it's saying to me is that she couldn't even break up with you in a year's time, and then even after you broke up, she was still letting you come over. Like, to me, that's just so incredibly toxic because she is so far checked out of the relationship, and she has to have some sort of like self-awareness that what she's doing by letting you come over is so bad for your mental, but she would still just let it happen. It was mind-blowing when it was happening. Like, in the moment, I couldn't believe that it was happening. I'm like, this woman needs to stop destroying you. She is destroying you every step of the way, from the very beginning to the end. Because the signs were there in the beginning. In the first couple months or whatever, I was like, I told Cindy so many times, I'm like, this relationship is done. It is over. We are watching the end. And then it took a year to end. It was insane watching it transpire. It was crazy.
How do you feel about that, Judy? You were there for most of it.
I don't know. I feel
You
like
know, it's sad.
just throughout most of it, I feel like us as siblings, we were just trying to protect you and like try to get you out of it as soon as possible. But I feel like you just wouldn't listen. I'm not saying that you would listen to us, but you wouldn't listen to us
Sounds like
because,
that's what
like
you're
you,
saying.
but like also said, it's like your first relationship, and there's like nothing that can stop you because, also like Cindy said, you're just trying to wean off that feeling of like being attracted towards that person, I guess. So like it's hard to stop seeing someone once you've been with them for such a long time. It's like being on drugs.
How do you feel about it though? Because I still came over after we broke up and you were still living with her, and I would just come into your room sometimes at night.
Yeah, and then he's just pissing his pants crying. So offensive. Why you do that? So
Why you
offensive.
gonna out me like that?
And then Andrew out of you, man. I don't
She
know.
probably
Like
saw that as incredibly toxic, by the way.
yeah,
Just
Who?
like
like I
in
said,
retrospect.
Judy
Me?
or
No, your ex probably saw that as incredibly toxic that you were showing up and like as if you were spying on her, keeping tabs on her in some way. Just
no?
being
She would
in the room.
I would be like, oh, can I come over? And she'd be like, yeah.
Oh no. I feel
You
like
think I
he
didn't just
had-
show up? I was like, can we hang out? Like,
I don't know. I felt like it was a two-way thing, and that like you both should have ended it. You know, like once it was over, it should have been over. I mean, I
Also-
get like you're trying to fix things, but like I don't think that there was anything to be fixed. I don't know, man.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, like I never been dumped or anything, so like I can't say anything.
Talk
Alan's
about that, though.
contemplating his whole life. Yes, Cindy?
Thinking about like after fact, like who gets what when they're dumped after you've been together for a long time.
Yeah, what about it, Cindy?
I think that it's weird that she stayed there with our family, and he's the one that had to leave.
wow. A part
So-
of a part of that is like I wasn't in school anymore and she still was, so that was just the main part of it.
I don't think that should matter.
Bro, straight up, when there was talks of her getting rooming with your cousins, my brain almost exploded when I heard that.
I think about it now and it's like it literally makes no sense. Like, what the fuck is this?
It was insane. It was like, what? Am I the only one here who thinks this is insane? I constantly was like, what the hell is going on? This is psychotic on so
I
many
mean,
levels.
like, even after you guys broke up, you kind of felt uncomfortable just being there.
Well,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I got an idea, or I got a question rather.
I got an idea.
Do you think the relationship dragged on as long as it did because of that apartment and because she would
Oh,
have
for
had to
sure.
pay like
For
X amount
sure.
of rent if you left?
For sure.
Oh man, that's so bad.
I think a lot of it has to do with she wouldn't have had anywhere to stay other than maybe her friend, but like it was also her
Like-
mom co-signing the apartment though, so it's like
So, in a sense, if we all left, it's kind of big bad. If we just kind of just disappeared into thin air.
Big bad.
well, I mean, like Judy was still in school and Zewan was still in school, so it didn't matter because like they still needed a place to stay too. So it's
Right.
like it doesn't matter that much, but it's like the apartment
plus
probably
their mom
kept the
had-
relationship going longer than it should have.
Yeah,
Like-
plus the co-signing is pretty messed up.
And I helped her move into a new apartment, so it's like,
Whoopsie.
Personally, if the co-signing thing didn't exist and I were you, she would have been kicked out month 2 at most, maybe.
I mean,
Like,
probably.
gone. I don't even care that you're in school. Goodbye.
Oh, fuck your education, he said. I mean,
Yeah.
well, bleep
Figure it
down.
out. I'll figure
I
my
was like,
shit out. You figure your
okay.
shit out.
I mean,
But
that's basically what you did
what?
in your previous relationship. I mean, so that's why I brought it up. So who gets what in the relationship?
Oh,
'Cause
no.
Austin's situation, like
Just
some
try
of
to
the
steal the
stuff on his
kitchen knife, dude.
some of the stuff in his previous relationship is still affecting our relationship, like now, like to this day, like assets and stuff. And so, like,
You know?
Well, for me, it's no assets, just apartment stuff, so it doesn't matter too much.
well, Austin's was apartment too. He literally just got kicked and he had to find a place on his own and everything.
I mean, everything. I had to start my life over.
I just came home, dude. I was already home because she asked me to move out.
Car. Austin had a car, and like
Car, couch, bed, kitchen
now that
appliances, kitchen pots and pans, silverware, cups, plates, all that, everything. I had to start my life over.
now
It
that
was
car
messed
is
up.
fucking up Reddit. Like,
Do you think they find it weird though that they just have all this stuff that was in it that like do you ever think about that? Like, do you think they think it's weird? Like being surrounded by all the stuff that makes you that literally reminds you of your past relationship because it's everything you bought in your past relationship.
Yeah, she's like smashing other guys in the bed that I bought her.
why is that funny?
Because I dumped her. Yeah.
Like, I've always thought about that too. Like, keeping stuff that like you had with that in the previous relationship. Like, you're constantly gonna be reminded of that person when you look at that item.
That's what I'm
know what I
saying.
mean?
Like, do you just forget about it eventually? Because I would assume you just eventually forget
No,
about it,
I
right?
don't know. There's
Because
no
it's
way.
like when I helped her move into her new apartment, I looked at all the stuff and I was like, literally everything here we bought together. Like, there's no way that you're not gonna remember me just looking at any of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, other than the dishes, because she got new dishes, but like everything else, we bought together. So yeah,
Damn,
I don't know.
He's sitting, man.
He's a good boy.
Do you guys think it's
good
possible to
boy.
spend too much time together?
Not if you love each other. Just kidding. I mean, obviously, you have to
Yes.
have your alone time. Like Justin, he goes games with the boys. I go watch YouTube. Why are you
It's
laughing
like,
at that?
I mean, it's the same thing with Austin too. Sometimes like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with the boys. Sometimes I go with them. Sometimes like, nah, you guys just do your thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Like
And
Justin.
same for me. I go hang out with my girls, and then Austin just stay home do his own thing.
I'm a girl.
but you know what I mean though? Like how mom always says, don't spend too much time together.
Yeah.
It's just because she wants to steal your time.
Yeah, because she wants to spend time with us.
My time now.
Mommy time now.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's good to sometimes spend break together. You know, like sometimes when I go home and Austin's just sitting at home. I mean, not that I like that you're sitting at home alone and you feel sad that I'm not there. But it's like when I come back, it's like, oh, you really miss me, and like there's that like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Oh my
That's good.
gosh.
yeah, like the oh my goodness, miss you so much. You don't realize until like they're gone for like that little short amount of time. It's a nice kind of.
Can't relate. I wish I was missed.
Oh my.
You are
But they
missed
miss
every
you.
day when you're at work. Slave
Yeah.
labor. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I need someone to game with. What am I going to do?
Yes.
Dude.
That's
Well-
me. Sitting here. I'm like, where's Andrew?
Oh no. Andrew.
Oh,
Not me losing being a
Not
loser for
me.
5 days in a row on League.
Nah, dude, we won today.
Yeah, we won a few games today, but
All right,
I've
let's go.
haven't
Let's
played
go
that much
right
League.
now. Hop on right now.
Yeah, that's part of having our own interests too.
Yeah.
Like me and Austin play the same game,
Interview.
but we never play it together. I feel otherwise, I feel like that would be too much, you know. And I also get very angry.
Facts.
All right, I think we're just trying to end this now, but like we still got a few things to
Same
talk
here.
about. I feel like we're just no branding it right now. We're just gonna talk about these last. We're just gonna talk about these last few points that we have here.
We hear you, man.
You want to
Alright.
edit this out or keep going?
We can just keep it rolling. I mean, Andrew can edit this one. We'll just take turns editing. So
Okay, okay.
you got this one,
Yeah.
Andrew.
It's
We'll
not
put
too
some
hard to cut out the
fire.
past
Yeah,
like
we'll put
30
some
seconds.
fire
and
edits in
just
there, dude.
start
Yeah,
on
put
that.
some fire edits on there,
Fire
literally.
Actually, put some fire.
Oh, did you guys see the outro last time though? It was pretty fire. Pretty fire, dude.
Actual
Anyways,
fire.
okay. To get to the last few points we have here. What do you guys know the difference between platonic love and like romantic love, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, do you think? I don't know how to say this, but I'm
I know,
I'm
I know.
struggling. Go ahead.
I watched a video about this like 2 weeks ago or something about like platonic and like romantic love.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes like you have someone like you're like, oh, like do you really just like have a crush on them or something, or like is it romantic? And like they were talking about like, oh, well, how do you know it's like if it's true love? Can you be in love with more than one person? And like the kind of way they explained it, but like I don't know if I'm thinking of platonic as like if my definition of platonic and like romantic is the same as you guys, but like platonic relationship, like you'll think about them like sometimes, but like you won't think about them all the time. And like when you're in a romantic relationship, like everything and every little thing is like about them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's
That's
kind of
not
how
what
I
I
see it.
think of.
Well, how do you think of it, Austin?
Platonic is friends.
Wow.
Relationship is not.
Yeah, like
I
so
mean,
you
yeah,
like
he's not wrong in that sense.
so
Yeah, but you
what I was
said, like,
saying-
sometimes think of them and then sometimes don't,
Yeah,
and
like,
then all
you
of
I
them.
mean, that happens with like friendships. So like, you think, yeah, you
think of it sometimes, and then like you're just like really close. And you're like, oh, like this, I literally like this person, like, but it's not as same as like close intimacy of like a romantic relationship. I think what separates a platonic relationship and romantic is like just the intimacy.
Platonic friendship is like siblings friendship. Romantic is romantic.
Yes, I agree, Judy. I agree so.
Yes, romantic is just
Yes.
do you think romantic love can turn into platonic love?
No.
You don't think that's possible? So what if someone said that
That
to
there
you then?
would've
Would
never
you
been romantic love?
would you just assume that they never loved you?
Yeah.
I guess.
I would call them a liar.
Liar. Off with your head.
I'm only asking because that's what my ex said. So
Yeah, and she was lying. Am I wrong?
I don't know. We'll never know.
I think
Liar.
I mean, the fact that you guys aren't
Like-
friends now, I think I would say she's lying.
Liar.
Liar.
I think it is incredibly rare that people break up and stay friends. Incredibly rare. I'm talking like 1 in 1,000 relationships, maybe.
I think it's
Like, you
probably
just
less than that.
It's probably less than that. And this applies to like hookups too. I mean, hookups not as common, but like relationships for sure. You don't remain friends. Like I've seen friends stop being friends because they hooked up. It's just something that happens. I don't know. It's just different, you know? You muddy the water and shit gets weird. That's just how it goes.
Different. Next. Speed
Alright.
run, speed run, speed run, speed run.
We don't need to talk about long distance relationships because we already talked about that.
Those are not real.
What?
Long distance
No one
relationships.
said that. No one said that.
Sounds like
Okay, but what if your relationship starts as a long distance relationship?
What if?
Bruh.
What if?
We're
What
done.
done? We're
We're
done.
done.
We're done.
I don't know. We still got
Done.
one last point, dude. Jealousy, is it good or bad?
Is it good to be
I feel
jealous?
like you should have brought that.
How does
Like-
the jealousy manifest?
You're jealous.
I probably should have brought that up sooner, but jealousy, how does it manifest?
Is that
Like,
toxic? Do you think jealousy is toxic?
I don't
I
think it's
think-
toxic, but how does it manifest?
I think it's
Like
good.
how-
I think it's good to have like a certain amount of jealousy.
yeah, and like how do you portray that you're jealous?
You caught them
portray it.
liking girls' pictures.
You caught them scrolling on Instagram, looking at other girls, huh?
Big booty.
Yeah, Austin's so jealous.
You
of me
caught them
looking at other
laughing.
girls' booties.
You caught them laughing at another person's joke, and you're like, "Oh, only I can make you."
What? No, that's toxic.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Like you say you're kidding, but you also aren't a little bit.
I'm
which
not
is
kidding.
She's so
I'm
quirky,
kidding.
dude. She's so quirky.
nah. I already know, man. I already know.
You don't know me like that.
I do. I do. You get jealous over the stupidest thing. I know you would. I
You
know
don't know
you
me
would.
like that.
I
You don't
already know.
me. You don't know me like that.
Do we think of the same thing, Austin?
Yes.
No.
We're thinking of the same
Yes.
thing. I know we're thinking of the same thing.
I know what you're thinking
No.
about.
What are you thinking about?
Not gonna say it.
Say it.
We'll
End
say
it
it
right
after.
now. End it right
Mhm.
now. We'll fight about it too. We'll fight him. We'll fight everyone.
All right, so we're just
So
throw
time
it to
to
an
fight.
outro. We're gonna just throw it to an outro now.
Throw
Uh,
that, throw
We're in
hands.
shambles here. We're
We
Yeah,
might need
we're-
another part. We need a part 3.
No.
No.
Part-
These are just some
Part 3.
some
Throw
random.
your hands.
Honestly, some of these could just be like a part of this could be another like
one?
podcast, but like
This one.
Give-
That's a
give
lot
us-
of
Yeah,
time.
but-
What's the topic for the next podcast?
Give a sneak peek.
Who's
Give a
hosting?
sneak peek, Cindy. What is it?
What's
What are you
the
doing?
Open relationships.
Oh my god.
that's still more
about
stuff
open
about relationships, but we can talk about that next time in our
Another
next
podcast.
episode because we're
What's the next
so
episode gonna be about?
Consistent.
we're so tired. So it's still more stuff about relationships.
I don't think you should do a part 3.
I don't think so either. I think this should be saved for a future podcast. Judy said that she
Mhm.
wanted to talk about
What?
work, like
Work and school.
work in school.
Future type of stuff.
Oh
We-
my god.
I think we could talk about
All starting shambles here.
I think we can talk about
Pants crash.
I think we should talk about that next.
Yeah, I feel like that's a
I
good
think
topic.
our next podcast is still going to be really
Shambly.
shambly because it's New Year's Eve and everyone's going to be working, and
We do a real life podcast of all of us together.
we should for sure do one for New.
We can try
That's
it.
perfect, guys. Let's do it the night of New Year's Eve, right after
Yay!
work, guys.
Yay! We're gonna
So
get.
yeah, we
We should
do-
get
we should
drunk.
do- We should do a different topic then.
I'm gonna be sleeping
Yeah,
before New
let's do a
Year's
different
even
topic.
happens.
We should do like a fun topic.
Go to bed.
What's
Nah, we should stay up all night, guys. Come on.
Well,
All
let's-
night, all night, all night, all night,
All
all
night.
night, all night,
All
all
night,
night.
all night,
whoa,
all
whoa,
night.
whoa,
don't
whoa!
try to
We're
get
not trying to get
copyright out
copyrighted here. We should, yeah, Cindy's right. We should try to pick a fun topic
Maybe-
for New Year's Eve.
Maybe we should do, instead of a pond,
Tier list.
do like a Game Boy night.
We can do like a Q&A type of thingy.
Q&A, what kind of questions are we getting?
We'll search for some.
We
Like a
we have
Q&A.
viewers, dude. We want to be able to get some questions.
One.
Leave your
Alright,
questions,
guys.
Just
leave
post it.
down below. Hit that
Leave it down
subscribe
below.
button.
Oh my god!
Where's that outro music?
Yeah, hit us the Q&A questions in the comments.
Editor.
Editor.
Editor,
Put
you're
it
talking to
down.
yourself. You're the editor.
Comments down below. Q&A questions for our IRL stream.
Why you go like this? Wait, you trying to grab some honkers, dude?
That's my New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve honkers.
New Year's Eve balls
Oh jeez.
being dropped.
Ayo.
On that note.
It's actually just full degen. We should try to post on our socials and see if anyone has any questions for us, but I don't think anyone's gonna have questions for us.
Wee maggot.
But yeah, anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Until next time, this has been your host, Alan. Go ahead, say goodbye, Judy.
Judy, goodbye.
Austin, go ahead.
Oh my god.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Cindy, go ahead.
Signing off.
Andrew.
Bye bye. Thanks for coming on here, Austin, and talking to us.
Yes, thank you, Austin. Thank you for coming and joining us for this two-part relationship podcast.
We'll be back in the future, I'm sure.
I'm sure you will be. I'm sure it wouldn't have been as organized if Austin wasn't here.
Maybe I'll guest host one of these.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Super organized.
Probably, because I feel like you have a lot of questions for us too about our childhood and stuff, so you'll probably be here to host for that.
Cool.
But yeah, anyways, goodbye, guys. Thanks for listening, and
Bye-bye.